Watching ghost towns round another bend. Trains half empty, but I'm rolling, chasing dreams I'll never know. In this hard land, I've been searching for a place to call my own.
SETH'S Gear and Ammo presents Fearsome Beasts of the Shadowdark and How to Avoid Them, the latest from the OGGM, here on the shelves of SETH'S Gear and Ammo in the hometown of Fresno, Nevada. Hello and welcome. It is I, the OGGM, coming to you from Site B at 8:42 in the morning. It's the 20th day of May. It is 56 degrees and sunny, and today we're taking a look at my latest project, now available at Drive-Thru, Fearsome Beasts of the Shadowdark and How to Avoid Them. And yes, that is a play on a certain book. Should be pretty obvious which play of which title of which book I'm making fun of. But do you really want to find fantastic beasts? No, because most of them want to eat you. So let's take a look. Why did I build a monster book? Because when in doubt, build a monster book. No, because I had like 3-4 years of research that I'd done between my little monster zines I was doing before Wretched, and then I did Wretched Beastery with Miguel. So I had more research for that. And then after Wretched Beastery was published, I was doing my little zines, and I'd done all this research on cryptids and all this research on, fairies and Shakespeare and the Midsummers, and just I could have continued to do the little zines that I was doing with Jim, or I could throw everything in here in one big zine and then just be done with it. So it's done, it's out, it's published. Thank you very much to Victor, the Stay Buff Marshmallow Man, creator of Blacklight, for taking a week out of his time to help me set this up. It looks pretty damn good, I think. The section on cryptids didn't make it, so I have to go back in and add that back in. I don't know what happened. I think I forgot to send it to Victor or whatever. It's no big deal. The cryptids I'd already done, right? So you guys already saw them. So I didn't really know if I needed to put them in again. It's like, do I really need to repeat something I just did? But I mean, on the other hand, it is kind of, like all that research seems to be going to waste. So maybe I'll add the cryptids back in. I don't know. I'll probably do a post on the Drive-Thru site to see if people want to have me add back in the cryptid section, or if they're like, yeah, I already got the cryptids from the last thing, so I don't really need it. Anyways, yeah, it's just a splatter of monsters. Most of these are monsters I was like, I didn't find this in Shadowdark, so I'm going to add it. Kelsey did a pretty good job of adding a whole bunch of monsters, but there are definitely some missing. And since I don't have the other supplements that have come out since then from the Arcane Library, I don't know how many of these she's already done. So I was just acting from the point that they haven't done any. And again, thank you for Victor, and for Victor for finding all the amazing clip art. I had found a ton of art, but he was like, no, we're going to just use this amazing clip art. That way you don't get in any trouble. Which might be the way to go. So it's divided in animals, dragons, from beyond. From beyond contains fairyland. That's all the research I did into Midsummer's Night's Dream, mythology, and the outer realms. We've got giants and goblins because, of course, we have goblins. We got humanoids because, the worst thing in the world is our fellow humans. We got insects, and of course, the two biggies. We got slime and the undead, because as long as you have slime and the undead, you have every monster you need. So animals, just normal animals, including the dire turkey. Dinosaurs, because dinosaurs are cool. Some of these I took from, were already done. Others I found they didn't have them. Like, here's the telepathic gorilla. How come Kelsey didn't include the telepathic gorilla? You got to have telepathic gorillas, right? A lot of my little tongue-in-cheek humor hidden here. Then we got like mutant animals, which make an appearance again in the project I'm working on right now, rewriting the Waffle Apocalypse. Then we got dragons. I would have page skipped here, but whatever. A lot of these dragons are from research, from mythology, from things that, stuff like that. Basilisk. What are you doing to a horse here, this creature? I don't, what is going on in this picture? So you can see all the different types of dragons and things that kind of look like dragons. I wanted to do things that were dragons and things that look like dragons. And then, of course, I couldn't use the dragons that she'd done, and I couldn't use the dragons, like, so I had to, like, rename a lot of them. We've got the space dragon from, of course, Godzilla. We've got the true dragons, gem dragon, red dragon, sky dragon, shadow dragon, undead dragon, because, of course, why not? We've got the named dragons, Apophis the Endbringer, the Dragon King and Queen. Of course, the queen is named after my niece, Maud Philomena Picklebottom, and her love for dragons. And Yig the World Builder, since I use the World of Freeport as my campaign setting, I've got to, toss in Yig. Then we've got Fairyland, a small little article on Greek myths versus Roman myths. Here's Ariel, Dryads, Fairy Godmother, Gremlins, Fairy Changeling, Leprechauns, Nymphs, Oberon. Got to have Oberon and Titania. Robin Goodfellow, Puck, of course, the most iconic. Some of the other fairies that appear in Midsummer's. Tinkerbell, because you got to have Tinkerbell. Is there any fairy more well-known than Tink? Titania, Queen of the Fairies. Then we got Myths and Legends. Went through a whole bunch of Greek and Roman myths. Really got into like the different types of chimeras, And as always, references from where I found them. Going to the Medusa. That's something that, I don't know a lot of other people have covered the fact that, Medusa was the first. Everything that came after Medusa is not Medusa. We refer to the entire species as Medusa, but that's a mistake. According to Greek myths, everything that came after Medusa was Gorgons. Medusa was the first, and then everything after that. So, up to today, when we get today's monster manuals and we refer to the snake-headed woman as Medusa, but no, only the original one, the first victim, was Medusa. According to Greek myth, everything else after that was the Gorgons. But somewhere along the way, we decided that the Gorgon was something else. Pegasus. Unicorns, because of course. Then we got the earth, air, fire, and water elementals. King Slime. Got to have King Slime and Princess Pudding. We have the Watchers, because I can't use the word beholder, so Watchers. And I decided instead of making them eye stalks, they're tentacles. So mine is uniquely different to the typical one. We got all our goblins. We got giants first, because, in my mythology, everything comes from the giants. Again, a little Greek Roman myth there, titans, giants, goblins, orcs, ogres, ogre shaman, the different type of troll. And of course, our goblins, because, they're our number one employees here at SETH'S Gear and Ammo. We got to have the goblins, different types of goblins. The Goblin King, the Goblin Queen, he who is allowed to talk back. Of course, the name for the Goblin Commander, if you're familiar with Gobstein, the Goblin Battle Chicken. Kobolds, My kobolds are modeled after the Skaven from Warhammer. I know a lot of people are like, they're dog people, they're lizard people. At some point in time, I made them rat people. I don't remember when I made them rat people. But it's just possibly subconsciously the Skaven, possibly it was just, it made more sense to my brain that they were rat people instead of lizard people or dragon people. So my kobolds are rat people. We have the Kobold theme song, based upon G.I. Joe. Crushing through the sky comes the fearful cry, Kobold! Kobold! Armies of the night, evil taking flight, Kobold! Kobold! Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, panic spreading everywhere. It's Kobold Commander. Yeah. So, I mean, Cobra, Kobold, they got to have the theme song. So here's our kobolds. Kobold spore mages. Here's our orcs. Orcs are evil. And of course, humans, because, yeah, humans need to be in the monster manual. Caveman, barbarians, berserkers, card shop, cattle rustler, dwarf, elves, pirates, knights, magic users, the specific humanoids that live out here in Fresno, Nevada, bunker hermits, desert nomads, Area 52 patrol officers, aliens. We got cat folk, doppelganger, fish folk, dog folk, fungus folk, jackal folk, the legendary half carrot shark folk, because we got to have shark folk, giant insects, them. Got to have a little, my references here as always: world's largest spider, world's most dangerous spider, world's most popular, different types of insects, different type of arachnids. Then, of course, slime, because slime. Different types of slime, different types of fungus. Some real, some fantastic. More clip art. Thank you, Victor, again. Undead, because we love undead. My ghouls versus zombie argument. And of course, if I'm going to have undead, I'm going to have a link to the Center for Disease Control's guide to the zombie apocalypse, because I still think that's the greatest thing ever. Say what you will about the Center for Disease Control, at least they don't take themselves too seriously that they actually posted a guide to how to survive the zombie apocalypse, which is just great because, this is a true story. They receive, on average, since the whole zombie apocalypse fad started and people found out that they could contact the Center for Disease Control, depending upon media, they receive, on average, between 1 and 10 calls every day about the zombie apocalypse. So years ago, they saw that people were not downloading their guide to how to survive disasters. This is a true story, because they had the how to survive an earthquake, how to survive a fire, what to do if this happens. Nobody downloaded those. Nobody went to that page. So they decided, as a tongue-in-cheek, take advantage of the fact that all these people call and write in about the zombie apocalypse, to run with it. So instead of making a guide to how to survive earthquakes and disasters, they made the guide to how to survive the zombie apocalypse, figuring that any skill you would use to survive the zombie apocalypse, you would also use to survive normal disasters. And since they published it the first time, it's been downloaded on an average of 10 times a day. Then during COVID, they re-released it, and it was downloaded on an average of 7 to 15 times a day. Now it's not as popular, but, if there's a new season of The Walking Dead or another, pandemic or whatever, people are going to start going, hey, CDC, is this zombie thing going to happen? And they can go, Here's a guide. So that's a true story. More undead, including the dead from The Last of Us. The CDC would like to remind you, once again, that the fungus from The Last of Us cannot affect humans. It cannot make the blood barrier jump from the insects that carry it to humans. Yet. More ghouls, more zombies. I don't call them zombies, I call them ghouls. Because the definition of zombie is magical construct. The definition of ghoul is it eats the living. So, yeah. Got to have a vampire. And again, vampires are evil. And then, of course, the references. Never question that when I publish something, I'm researching it. If I even mention it, it's researched. Again, thank you, Victor. And all the legal stuff. Thank you, Kelsey. Blah, 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 blah. There it is. Check it out. What do you think? Do you think that the market needs another guide to monsters for Shadowdark, or do you think the market is just too glutted? Let me know. Have you purchased your copy yet? If you haven't purchased your copy yet, it's available on Drive-Thru for $14. Though I might mark it down to celebrate summer. Don't know. Definitely a nice breath of fresh air to just revisit all this research and now go, okay, it's done. I don't have to ever do this again. I've done it 3 separate times. So yeah, I will post to see if people want me to go back in and add the section on cryptids and on the website on Drive-Thru. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, please purchase it. Please support the OGGM. I would love to have something go copper on Drive-Thru. That would just be awesome if you guys could buy 50 of these. And if you can, if you're just like, it's too much, I don't need it, I completely understand. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Drive-Thru. Thank you, Kelsey, for making this, a project we can work with. Thank you for taking time out of your day for my shameless self-promotion and another visit to Fresno, Nevada. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day.